Most people think conversations are controlled by the loudest person in the room, but the truth is, the person who understands psychology is the one who controls the conversation. There are subtle psychological tricks that influence how people respond, what they reveal, and even what they believe. Once you recognize them, you'll start seeing them everywhere. Here are 7 psychological techniques that quietly control conversations. 1. The power of silence. Most people are uncomfortable with silence. When a conversation pauses, people feel pressure to fill the gap. Skilled communicators use this to their advantage. Instead of rushing to speak, they simply stay quiet and maintain eye contact. More often than not, the other person begins talking and revealing more than they intended. Silence can push people to explain themselves, justify their words, or reveal hidden thoughts. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. 2. Mirroring people. Naturally trust those who seem similar to them. Mirroring is the act of subtly copying someone's body language, tone, or speech patterns. If they speak slowly, you slow down. If they lean forward, you lean forward slightly. This creates an unconscious sense of connection and familiarity. It's a technique often used by negotiators and interviewers because it lowers defenses and builds instant rapport. When people feel understood, they become far more open in conversation. 3. Strategic questions. The person asking the questions usually controls the direction of the conversation. Instead of making statements, skilled communicators guide discussions through carefully chosen questions. For example, instead of saying, "I think this idea will work," ask, "What do you think would happen if we tried this?" Questions subtly shift the conversation while allowing the other person to feel like they are leading it. This makes your influence almost invisible. 4. The labeling technique. A powerful psychological trick is labeling someone's emotions. For example, "It sounds like you're frustrated," or "It seems like this situation is important to you." When people feel understood, their emotional defenses drop. This technique is commonly used by negotiators and psychologists. By naming someone's feelings, you create trust and open the door for deeper conversation. 5. The pause. After a statement. Most people make a point and immediately start explaining it, but confident communicators do something different. They make their statement and pause. For example, "I'm not sure that's the best solution." Then they stay silent. This pause creates psychological pressure. The other person begins responding, explaining, or even reconsidering their position. The pause gives your words more weight. 6. Controlled curiosity. Instead of revealing everything you think, skilled communicators remain slightly mysterious. They share information slowly and show curiosity about the other person. Humans naturally want to solve mysteries. By revealing less and asking more, you encourage the other person to talk more about themselves. And the more someone talks, the more influence you gain in the conversation. 7. The calm advantage. In emotional conversations, the calmest person often gains the most control. When someone raises their voice or becomes defensive, staying calm shifts the power dynamic. It signals confidence and emotional control. Over time, the other person begins adjusting their tone to match yours. Calmness can quietly guide the entire direction of the conversation. Ending conversations are rarely controlled by force. They are shaped by subtle psychological cues: silence, curiosity, calmness, and the right questions can shift the entire direction of a discussion. Once you understand these techniques, you'll start noticing them everywhere, in negotiations, interviews, and everyday conversations. And the person who understands the psychology of communication often controls the outcome. Call to action. If you want to understand more hidden psychology behind human behavior, subscribe for more videos on dark psychology and social influence, because once you understand how the mind works, you start seeing the world very differently.